Ready? Okay, fine.
Hey, what's up? This is Steve.
And this is John.
From Monster Truck, and you are watching The Pit.
Damien Dennis here for The Pit Sports and Entertainment. Here with the guys from Monster Truck. John and Steve, how you guys doing today?
Doing great, thank you.
Excellent, as always.
So, you guys had an early set today, man. I got in here at like the right time, but I just couldn't get there in time. We had interviews like right as you guys started. So, what was the set like? I have to ask because I want to see you guys so bad.
It was great. We've been hearing that all day. Everyone's like, man, I couldn't get in time for your set, but there was still a lot of people who did make it in. There was a few thousand people out there, and they were all having a good time. It's a nice surprise for 11:45 a.m.
I thought it was wicked, and you missed out.
I feel the same way, man. Those lines out there, I don't know if you guys saw when you came in, I don't know when you got here, but they were so long, I mean.
Yeah, you can see cars lined up down around the, yeah, that's crazy, yeah.
We actually came up from the south side. We've never done this. We've been covering the Rock on the Range for, I think, this is our 4th year. I've been coming 5 years. Usually come from the north, come from the south, no traffic. It was beautiful. I'm in love with it.
You found the secret.
Yeah.
There it is, everyone, the south.
Now next year the south's going to be horrible and the north's going to be the best.
I'll come from the east next year then. So I wanted to talk to you guys a lot. I'm really digging the new single you guys got. Can you tell me a little bit about the record? Is the overall record a little bit reflective of that single? Is it a lot like that song itself?
No, it's not. That song's a good lead off, a good introduction to this record, but the record goes a lot of other places as well that we have kind of worked on developing into our sound over this record. You know, it goes a few different places.
Yeah, we try our best to just make sure everything's fresh and good, but still retaining what we had and what we want to do. So it really comes down to, like, a lot of it might sound similar or sound like our old stuff, but a lot of it doesn't, and that's pretty much what a new record should be.
You guys are a relatively young band in terms of some of the other acts here at Rock on the Range. How would you guys describe your music to new fans, maybe the people that saw you today or maybe just barely missed out?
We got a big throwback influence to old rock from the 60s and 70s, and but we also throw in a bit of a modern flair to it. We're not a throwback band, but the bands from that era are probably some of our biggest influences.
Speaking of influences, can both of you kind of tell me a little bit about what your influences are? What helped you get into music?
I think our band is kind of like a barbecue band. Like, if you can picture what you would listen to at a barbecue, like, you know, that kind of vibe is what exactly we want. So our influences are kind of, well, it's the same things, man. It's classic rock. I mean, a lot of classic rock, a lot of Rage, a lot of like weird like punk like influences, but to be completely honest, it's about having a good time and hanging out and being with your friends and being with your family, you know. Maybe eat a good piece of meat, who knows?
and not trying too hard, really doing what kind of comes naturally and doing what we have a good time doing, you know. So that's a big part of it too.
What do you guys like to do when you're touring? You know, what's something you guys like to do when you're on the road in the van, just to kind of pass the time while you're going from city to city, venue to venue?
Well, this tour has been kind of, we started it in a van and we are ending it in a bus. So it's they're different, very different approaches to touring. You know, in the van, I think it's all about the driver and shotgun. They kind of rule that. They're the DJs. They're usually the ones conversing with the person in that first bench back. You know, they really set the tone of the party. On a bus, it tends to turn into a when can I get off this bus for a while, you know, because as great as it is being on a bus, you know, spending a month on one is I mean, it's great because you don't have to do any of the traveling during the day. You kind of just wake up in the next city, but it's like, you know, 6-7 dudes living in a pretty confined metal tube that's ripping down the highway.
Do you kind of share his sentiments about the transition from van to bus and then living in a bus?
I think when you're on the bus, you get to see more museums and art galleries, and when you're off the bus, you get to see more of the lay of the land, which is like whatever's valuable to you. I think they're both equally as valuable. So I think any travel's good and smart for human beings, and like we get the best of both worlds. And I think we're lucky. We're the lucky few.
So we're here in Columbus, obviously rocking the range. Have you guys had a chance to go out and explore Columbus at all since you've been here?
Absolutely not, unfortunately. It's been like, no, I know. I'm just gonna be straight up blunt about it. We literally got here like 2 hours before our set time, and we've been doing press and hanging out here since, and we leave to head up to Detroit, you know, in the wee hours of the morning. So I don't know. Depending, you know, maybe this night's gonna take a wild swing, and I'm gonna end up at like 3 a.m. passed out right downtown at like the town square or something. But
I doubt it.
but at this point, I don't think this trip is gonna be when we get to know Columbus.
I agree. I definitely agree. Thank you.
But it's a hockey town, so I want to get to know it someday. Maybe see a Blue Jackets game.
It's hilarious. There's nothing to see in Columbus. I grew up a Michigan football fan. Nothing to see here.
No.
This is pretty much it. So, are you guys excited to see any of the bands playing? We're recording this at like 5:30. Not much time left in terms of probably press for you guys. Are you excited to see any bands? Do you have a chance to see any bands?
Well, the band that we were, I think, most excited to see today was the band that took us on our first ever U.S. tour. It was like 5 weeks, our first ever jaunt. We went a lot of places, and that was with Seven Dust, and we love those dudes. They're such great guys, and we were really excited to see them today because it's been years, and they were kind of like our first, you know, trip into this country. Our first tour was with them, and so it's kind of got a bit of a nostalgic feeling to it. So it was good to see, and they always will put on a killer live show. They're so heavy and awesome dudes. Yeah.
So Seven, so Dusty.
So you guys have been to Rock on the Range before, I believe, just once before. Am I correct?
Once, yeah.
All right. What was your first experience like, and how does it feel to kind of be back here at the 10th anniversary of Rock on the Range?
It's really awesome, man. We just like coming here. I mean, it seems like this place is the closest thing we can get to Europe and North America, and this festival feels like people actually care about rock and roll, which is comforting because it doesn't feel like that a lot. And when it does happen, it's a really awesome and powerful vibe. And I think that this festival really has that vibe on lock in North America, to be honest with you. And like, it's a nice place to be because you feel like you're not alone, you know.
Yeah, it was cool. Our first year playing, we played the smallest stage out in one of the parking lots, and it was still ended up being a great set. But it was a bit of a shit show getting the stage together and getting going up there, you know. And now it's cool that this year we got to play on a bit of a bigger stage with, you know, a bit more time, and yeah, we're hoping to keep that tradition going. Maybe get up to the main stage or later in the day next time, you know.
Your first time here, did you play as early?
I think we may have been the second band on that time.
First.
Yeah. The first time we were the second band on the smallest stage. This time we were the first band on a little bit bigger stage. Yeah.
Nice. A couple more questions for you guys. Do you have any experiences from Rock on the Range that you'd like to share? What was your favorite experience from the first year you played?
Our guitar player ordered like 8 pizzas to here. Which if you've been here, you know what that means. Like, try ordering a pizza to Rock on the Range. It's mental. It's like ordering a pizza to name the biggest festival you've been to. It's like ordering a pizza to Coachella, for all those hipsters out there.
I'll be at the front gate.
I'll be at the front gate. I'll see you there. I got all this money. But somehow he comes running back to the artist tent, which is just over there. Ran back there with 8 pizzas. I've never seen a more jovial. Jeremy, to be honest with you.
I think you just coined a new nickname, Jovial Jer.
If he starts getting nice.
What about you? What was one of your favorite experiences?
I remember I didn't eat that pizza, but I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't think I had Lactaid that day. I didn't have Lactaid. I remember we were on tour with Alter Bridge at the time, and I remember having a good hang with Scott, the drummer, at the Artist Lounge, late night, just having some beers and some wine after at the end when all the dust had settled, and that was really fun. I think it was near the end of our tour with them, and it was just kind of a good memory of just hanging, and thanks for having us out. It's a cool kind of hang area. Yeah, it's cool.
Last question for you guys. What's up next for Monster Truck? What do you guys got planned after Rock on the Range and through the summer?
World domination. And then we're going to Europe for a while, and then we're gonna come home and start working on a new record, and then we're gonna go back to Europe.
Yeah, we've got a lot of Europe coming up. We've really been hitting that very hard, and things have been going well there. So we're gonna be. We just, tomorrow is literally our last day of the U.S. tour. We've been down here for like 6 weeks, really hitting as much as we can, and now it's time for us to move on to Europe and start doing the same thing over there, and as the rotation goes,
To our European fans, you need to check out Monster Truck. Guys, thanks for joining me. Let's end this the way we started it. Just point it